Good evening, everybody. We'll do a live weather check. There we go. 39 degrees currently. Ripley, Tennessee, 37. Hartsville, South Carolina, 38. Mountain Home, Idaho, 21. And as I said, where I'm at, that's one, 39 degrees. Let's check radar. Oh, a little rain band up in Addison, Alabama. Looks like it cleared up in Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey. Hey, Darlene, what's up? Looks like it cleared out. New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York. Little rain band up in Texas, Los Antonio, Texas. Portland, Oregon, rain. Canada. Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, clear. All right. Are we back? I was going to do a live stream on News 9 YouTube, but they're not covering anything. It's just a black screen. Degrees. Wow. The difference between where I'm at and where you're at, that is mind boggling. How do you go from what? That's 48. A 17 degrees difference. Wow. Tomorrow it's going to be 60. Well, 58. Tuesday 62, Wednesday 63, Thursday 65. That's spring-like temperatures. Holy mackerel! Heat wave. Two deaths tied to weather storm Kina, northeast digs out. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, welcome back. It's 18 or 16 degrees.
From Baltimore to Bangor, people are digging out from a major snowstorm that met blizzard criteria in many areas and left parts of the Northeast covered in more than 20 inches of snow. At least 2 deaths are being connected to Winter Storm Kenan, both in the Long Island area. One person was found dead in a vehicle. The other died when shoveling snow. Plows worked through the night after travel came to a standstill on Saturday. Airlines continue to be backed up Sunday, with more than 1,000 flights canceled at major airports, including LaGuardia, Boston Logan, and JFK. About 50,000 homes and businesses remained without power Sunday morning, most of them in Massachusetts on Cape Cod. This was a scene in Boston Saturday, just one of many Northeast cities left covered in up to 2 feet of snow by Winter Storm Kenan. Cars were buried in drifts piled high. Plows were out in force trying to keep streets clear. And stranded cars had to be dug out. The snow also brought whiteout conditions to places like Plymouth, Massachusetts. And it wasn't just Massachusetts. Areas in New York, New Jersey, and Rhode Island all got more than 20 inches of snow. That included places near Seaside Heights, where snow piled up along the Jersey Shore. Where snow wasn't a problem, flooding was. Water covered streets in Nantucket, while huge waves crashed ashore in Scituate. And then there was the wind. Wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour were recorded along the coast.
That's whiteout.
Including one over 80 miles per hour on Cape Cod. All that left more than 120,000 homes and businesses without power.
Wow.
More than 4,500 flights canceled, and travel by road virtually impossible in many areas.
From the Boston Common here, as we have just a scene of white everywhere as far as the eye can see. A record-setting or record-tying snow, if you will, for a single day yesterday in Boston. 6th all-time biggest snow for the city of Boston, and it is almost knee-deep. It's packed out. The problem is it's cold now. There's a lot of digging out to do. The good news is it is not a typical heavy wet snow here in Boston. It is a dry snow like we had back in 2015. The problems are really still on the Cape in terms of the power outages.
Yeah.
We still have our 60,000 customers without power there. There are shelters open down there. I'm trying to get word on how all that is going. There's some talk about maybe some issues with the generators down at the shelters, but either way, I can't confirm any of that. The other big dig problem is going to be out of Logan Airport, all right? Because yesterday, almost 100% of the flights were gone.
I know.
And now you've got to get those planes in before you can get people out, right? So you've got still cancellations today, kind of a backlog of that. And it always takes, especially with a big airport like Logan, there's always going to be a backlog. We got problems at LaGuardia, JFK, all the northeastern hubs along the I-95 corridor here.
Storm reports when it comes to Winter Storm Keenan, now kind of with the last hurrah across down East Maine. But even where the snow is not coming down from the sky, we still have some windy issues, at least some breezy issues across New England. So this was Friday. We had one low coming down across the Appalachians. Of course, our coastal low was just developing to the east of the Carolinas and then moved up the coast and strengthened significantly. I saw a major pressure drop down to like 982 millibars, I think. There's your heavy stripe of snow from the Jersey Shore, the Delmarva, all the way up to the coast of Maine. It really began to fill in yesterday morning. That's when we saw the bands of heavier snow. We're talking rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. So even the plows had to take a break with that one. It's really hard to keep up with. So here's a look at the totals, what we ended up with the past couple of days. More than 2 feet showing up in the hot pink areas of eastern Mass. You've got Portland officially sitting at about a foot of snow, but not too far from Portland, Maine. We did see up around 2 feet.
Back again. There you go. There you go.
You got stuck.
Are we going to have more winters? Are we going to have an early spring? Who knows? Let's bring in AJ DeRoom. He's handling Punxsutawney Phil at the moment, and sometimes Phil is a little tough to handle, buddy? But AJ can handle it. I know he's up to the task. Hey, AJ, great to talk to you, buddy. What do you think? Are you getting any signs from Phil that, you know, he's got a little agita? How's he feeling about this?
It's negative. It's negative temperatures up here in Punxsutawney this morning. So my guess is when I Phil from his burrow this morning, he was probably thinking, leave me alone. I'm thinking 6 more weeks, but he has given me no, I can't speak groundhog.
You know what? And I've been there with you guys enough times to know that there will be no clues. There will be no tipping of nobody's going to know anything until he comes out of that burrow. And we find out on February 2nd. So, you know, obviously a tough task at hand and through here. So what's it been like? You know, we had this really warm December. You know, all of a sudden we plunge into winter here as we get into January. That's got to be kind of tough on Phil. You put him in sandals or boots. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you know, he was thinking spring there for a while. And I just think we got this Arctic blast. We had no winter and we got slammed with real winter real fast. You can see behind me, I'm up here at Gobbler's Knob right now. We're covered with snow and like I said, negative temperatures. So yeah, it's been quite a surprise to all of us. How about it, Phil?
The north really keeps the snow.
The smart money with Winter Storm Keenan was on blizzard conditions being met in the Northeast. Here's your official definition from the National Weather Service. Wind speed at least 35 miles an hour, visibility a quarter mile or less, and the duration has to be at least 3 hours. Check it out as we take a look at your radar summary and storm reports. Yes, we have seen blizzard conditions from Maine southward all the way into Delaware. And check it out. Can you see the lightning showing up there, right there in your satellite/radar loop. So this has been a very intense storm that continues to affect parts of the Northeast. Conditions will be improving as we get into Sunday. By Monday, you'll get a chance to dig out across much of the area.
A FedEx semi-trailer was left hanging off an overpass after a crash on an icy bridge Wednesday morning in northwest Indiana. We talked to state police, who said a total of 3 vehicles were involved, and at least one person was transported to the hospital. They said the bridge where this happened.
Boston schools were set up to open Monday morning. 2 deaths. I wonder if that's including the guy who was shoveling and fell into the school. Power outages were on decline. $32,000 homes and businesses in storm path remain without power as of 4:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Look at that. Me too. Yeah. That's why I didn't do a live stream last night. It was just too cold. I had to keep wrapped up. I think I got a draft here somewhere. Oh, look at that. California's got a lot of them houses on stilts, but no way. I would not want to live in a house like that. Okay, yep. It does include, those 2 deaths include the elderly man fell into a swimming pool or something. So. Hundreds of flights canceled Northeast today. Current temperatures. That looks like Philadelphia. Let's see. No, that's Massachusetts. Paul Revere. Wow, 6 degrees in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. -5, Orange, Massachusetts. Oh, man. -10 in Norwood, Massachusetts. Smithfield, Rhode Island, 7. Lawrence, 10. Fitchburg, Massachusetts, 8. Chicopee, Massachusetts, -5. Yeah, I know she went live. I popped in a little bit. Just a second. Wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. If you were outside then, you were a nut. There's a slideshow of some of the storms in Dock. So I'll show you. Yeah, I know. 80 miles. Wow. That looks like a surfboard. Are you nuts? That's one thing about side streets. When they bring a snowplow through the streets, residential streets, they bury your car. They pile up the snow where you have to dig yourself out anyway. Bad enough that the street is snow covered, 2-3 inches. There's got to be a way to solve that problem. Are you kidding me? I'll check back in chat in a minute. Hold on to that railing. Looks like a subway. Huh? Yeah, definitely a subway. Even in the subway, the snow went all the way in there. Wow. Somebody lost control. Area photography. USPS post office doing their jobs. It's Ocean City, Maryland. Anybody want to go Ferris wheeling? Get a bunch of people together. Power crew. Getting the electricity turned back on. Ooh, look at that. having a little fun. Looks like a park. He's got the right idea. High water rescue trucks sit on standby to rescue trapped homeowners as waves crash over a seawall. Yeah, I would not be in my house. I'd be further inland. Grant Rock. Marshfield, Massachusetts. That looks like a hurricane. There's the police. High water rescue. Another aerial shot. I wonder if they allow snowmobiling. More fun after the snowfall. Yeah, it's fun to go snowboarding or tobogganing. How you say that word? Tobogganing. Slide down the hill. But of course, you gotta walk back up, slide down again, walk back up. What they should do is have a pulley system. Tie a rope around your toboggan, slide down, and have somebody pull you up while you're sitting on there. Okay. Where are you guys going? And why? Hey, going straight. Illinois, wow. I'm doing good, Glenn. Good to see you. Shoot, I'm already a pops. I'm an ice cube, not a popsicle. No, I haven't heard some giggles in a long time. I wouldn't be there. Whee! I'm flying. Wow. Let's ponder on that for a minute. The car is buried under snow. They did a snow plow. So not only do you got to dig your car, get the snow off your car, you got to dig yourself out in order to go somewhere. So if you don't need to go anywhere, I hope you went shopping earlier. And stocked up on drinks, food. Yeah, I didn't even have to read the description. That's definitely Massachusetts neighborhood. As you can see, the American flag, got the 13 colonies, stars. Another nut. What, you think that's fun? Dude, people like that really think it's so cool to do something like that? What's the temperature? Unbelievable. And I thought the people that go into the Arctic, was it once a year, they jump in the cold water? Ooh. There's something interesting. Check the chat.
This road tripping family was definitely not prepared for a massive locust swarm. Yowza, I'd be screaming too. Now, they were driving along the northern Cape of South Africa when their car plowed through the bug swarm. Many locusts splattered on the windshield, reducing visibility, and you can also see a cloud of them flying above the car. Locusts are common in South Africa and can be quite the nuisance. If you hit a swarm while driving, slow down and pull over if visibility is really poor. And be sure to remove any dead bugs from your external radiator, as they can cause your engine to overheat.
Right behind Winter Storm Keenan.
Anybody with common sense would know that. Oh, what do we got here?
We have another winter storm we're following, but this one will move and behave very differently. Now, this will be a widespread event with rain on the southern end, snow to the north, and ice in between. It already has a name, Landon. So let's look at the initial setup. We've got an area of low pressure pumping in moisture across Texas, and that'll continue to pump up that warm, moist air across the southeast as we go through the week. Now notice that front dropping down across the middle of the country, snow and cold air on the back side of this, snow stretching from the southwest into the northeast, and notice the pink, that is ice. Rain coming out ahead of it in areas that already just picked up a lot of snow in the northeast. So we'll see melting and flooding potentially in some areas, and then refreezing as that colder air moves back in. So here's an initial look at what we are expecting.
Unbelievable. What's up, you folks? Yeah, most definitely. Electric socks, electric outfit, battery
Most of us rely on thermometers to measure the cold. In Florida, they know it's cold when the iguanas drop from the trees. And don't worry, they start moving again when the temperature is warm. Average lows for the end of January range from 40s in the northern part of Florida to 50s in the central part of the state and 60s to the south. But we were much colder than that Sunday morning. Lots of folks were below freezing. We had temperatures dip into the 20s across northern Florida, 30s in the central part of the state. Even Miami dropped to 42 degrees.
Wow.
Good news for the iguanas, temperatures will warm up nicely this week. From Baltimore to Bangor, people are digging out from a major snowstorm that met blizzard criteria in many areas and left parts of the Northeast covered in more than 20 inches of snow. At least 2 deaths are being connected to Winter Storm Kenan, both in the Long Island area. One person was found dead in a vehicle. The other died when shoveling snow. Plows worked through the night after travel came to a standstill on Saturday. Airlines continued to be backed up Sunday, with more than 1,000 flights canceled at major airports, including LaGuardia, Boston Logan, and JFK. About 50,000 homes and businesses remained without power Sunday morning, most of them in Massachusetts on Cape Cod. At least 4 people are dead after a strong winter storm whipped across northern Europe over the weekend, with winds gusting in excess of 90 miles per hour. The storm, called Malik, tore off roofs in England. It brought huge waves and flooding to shorelines in northern Germany, where cars were swamped with water. In Denmark, streets were flooded and high winds took down trees and damaged homes. One person there was knocked over by the wind and killed. 2 people were killed by falling trees in Scotland, and 1 died in Germany. The storm lashed the region from England to Poland with snow and ice in some areas too. To me, cold weather always feels so much worse after a nice warm up. And with this cold front moving through, Texas will go from highs in the 70s Tuesday to highs in the 20s Thursday. By Wednesday, you'll be pulling out your sweaters and jackets. Now notice that cold air across the northern part of the state, and that'll slip southward. So by Wednesday evening, Amarillo, you're in the teens. Dallas, those temperatures dropping overnight. So by Thursday morning,
Denver, Colorado, 0 degrees. And if your power goes out, you better have, what do you call it, kerosene heater or a generator. Seven degrees in Amarillo. Yeah, 45 is not too bad, but it's still cold, especially if your power goes out. You know, the house keeps the cold more than the outside. 9 degrees in Kansas City, 4 degrees in Dodge City, 13 degrees in Oklahoma City. I'm sorry, gotta go. Got myself in a blanket, put myself in the oven, and forget about it.
your temperatures are in the 20s. And you'll find the high here on Thursday will only be in the 20s in Dallas, Midland, Amarillo, around 20 degrees. Houston, those 40s will be cold as well. Now, as far as those morning temperatures, here's a look at Thursday morning. Teens in San Angelo, Midland, Amarillo, you'll be in the single digits. And you'll also find cold air around as we move on into Friday morning. Dallas, your temperatures will be in the teens, single digits in Abilene, Amarillo, below 0 for you. So dress warmly and prepare your homes.
Okay, temperatures in February as a whole. That's what I want to talk about as far as the forecast goes here. And one of the big things that's going to influence that is the fact that we're in this La Nina pattern right now. That basically means that the sea surface temperatures in the eastern Pacific close to the equator are a little bit cooler than average. Okay, and what we typically see in a La Nina winter pattern is kind of warmer temperatures in the southeast and the south, and then cooler temperatures up in the northern tier of the U.S. with this ridging pattern up in the jet stream. And really, overall, our actual temperature outlook for February is going to mimic something pretty close to that La Nina pattern. Of course, that's not the only factor when it comes to making a forecast like this, but in general, temperature is pretty well above average in the east. That's going to be a nice little change from January, and then really well below average up in the north. So be prepared for that. Northern Plains, Northern Rockies, etc. Average highs in February, we start to recover a little bit, at least as compared to January. And the average lows still stay pretty chilly, even, a lot of 30s down in parts of the south, the southeast, and still average lows in the single digits in the northern tier.
What are we going to have more winters? Are we going to have an early spring? Who knows? Let's bring in AJ DeRoom. He's handling Punxsutawney Phil at the moment, and sometimes Phil is a little tough to handle, but AJ can handle it. I know he's up to the task. Hey, AJ, great to talk to you, buddy. What do you think? Are you getting any signs from Phil that
skies to make
he's got a little agita? How's he feeling about this?
It's negative. It's negative temperatures up here in Punxsutawney this morning. So my guess is when I go from his burrow this morning, he was probably thinking, "Leave me alone." I'm thinking 6 more weeks, but he has given me no. I can't speak groundhog.
You know what? And I've been there with you guys enough times to know that there will be no clues. There will be no tipping of nobody's going to know anything until he comes out of that burrow. And we find out on February 2nd. So, obviously a tough task at hand and through here. So what's it been like? We had this really warm December. All of a sudden we plunge into winter here as we get into January. That's got to be kind of tough on Phil. You put him in sandals or boots. What are you going to do?
Go back in his hole.
Yeah, he was thinking spring there for a while, and I just think we got this Arctic blast. We had no winter, and we got slammed with real winter real fast. You can see behind me. I'm up here at Gobbler's Knob right now. We're covered with snow, and like I said, it's negative temperatures. So. Yeah, it's been quite a surprise to all of us. How about it, Phil?
From the Boston Common here, as we have just a scene of white everywhere as far as the eye can see, a record-setting or record-tying snow, if you will, for a single day yesterday in Boston. 6th all-time biggest snow for the city of Boston, and it is almost knee-deep. It's packed out. The problem is it's cold now. There's a lot of digging out to do. The good news is it is not a typical heavy wet snow here in Boston. It is a dry snow like we had back in 2015. The problems are really still on the Cape in terms of the power outages. We still have our 60,000 customers without power there. There are shelters open down there. I'm trying to get word on how all that is going. There's some talk about maybe some issues with the generators down at the shelters, but either way, I can't confirm any of that. The other big dig problem is going to be out of Logan Airport. All right, because yesterday almost 100% of the flights were gone, and now you've got to get those planes in before you can get people out, right? So you've got still cancellations today, kind of a backlog of that, and it always takes, especially in a big airport like Logan, there's always going to be a backlog. We got problems at LaGuardia, JFK, all the northeastern hubs along the I-95 corridor here.
Storm reports when it comes to Winter Storm Keenan, now kind of with the last hurrah across down east Maine. But even where the snow is not coming down from the sky, we still have some windy issues, at least some breezy issues across New England. So this was Friday. We had one low coming down across the Appalachians. Of course, our coastal low was just developing to the east of the Carolinas and then moved up the coast and strengthened significantly. I saw a major pressure drop down to like 982 millibars, I think. There's your heavy stripe of snow from the Jersey Shore, the Delmarva, all the way up to the coast of Maine. It really began to fill in yesterday morning. That's when we saw the bands of heavier snow. We're talking rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. So even the plows had to take a break with that one. It's really hard to keep up with. So here's a look at the totals, what we ended up with the past couple of days. More than 2 feet showing up in the hot pink areas of eastern Mass. You've got Portland officially sitting at about a foot of snow, but not too far from Portland, Maine. We did see up around 2 feet.
Illinois is mostly flat country. You get the breeze, the wind.
Back again. There you go. There you go. There you go.
35 here, Darlene.
The smart money with Winter Storm Keenan was on blizzard conditions being met in the Northeast. Here's your official definition from the National Weather Service. Wind speed at least 35 miles an hour, visibility a quarter mile or less, and the duration has to be at least 3 hours. Check it out as we take a look at your radar summary and storm reports. Yes, we have seen blizzard conditions from Maine southward all the way into Delaware. And check it out. Can you see the lightning showing up there, right there in your satellite/radar loop? So this has been a very intense storm that continues to affect parts of the Northeast. Conditions will be improving as we get into Sunday. By Monday, you'll get a chance to dig out across much of the area.
Here's our national forecast. Now, we start out and there's not a lot going on, but that will change by the middle of the week. So enjoy this quiet on Sunday. This is the calm before the storm for many of you. Now, that's not to say we don't have a few areas of rain and snow. We do, as you can see, across parts of the Southwest, Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast, and then also the Pacific Northwest. On Monday, notice we've got areas of rain and potentially stormy weather coming in across Texas, maybe some severe weather. We've got an area of low pressure here, drawing in that Gulf moisture, and that's going to join forces with the front that's dropping down out of the north into the middle of the country.
Yeah,
so on Tuesday, you notice much more in terms of rain coming in, spreading from south all the way to the north. And on the northern end, starting to see a little bit of snow or mixed precip coming in. And then that expands even more going on into Wednesday. We've got snow from the southwest right on into the Great Lakes. We've got lots of rain too. In between, we've got some mixed precip, and we'll be watching closely for ice, and even more so as we go into Thursday.
There you go. A perfect point, Darlene. And sometimes they make things worse than they are. Sometimes they make things not as bad, but they're really, really bad. Is that the Pittsburgh? Looks like it. Sea smoke wafts above the Florida waterways. I think he went into the snow drifts where it piled up instead of laying flat on the ground.
So a couple of things that we see in the weather across the nation during the month of February. We're about to start the month, so I figured pretty good time to go through some of this stuff. Actually, some spots across the nation, New York City, for instance, Kansas City, Missouri, Tahoe City, California. For you guys, it is the snowiest month of the year on average, all right? One other thing that tends to happen is we start to see the tornado activity ramp up in the deep south from parts of the Texarkana region down through, let's say, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, the Gulf Coast, etc. And then we also, of course, get a lot more daylight into the picture, right? We're starting to get out of the winter season, starting to get a little bit closer to spring. The farther toward the north you live, the more daylight you will generally tend to see. Look at this, over 3 hours of additional daylight for places like Fairbanks, Alaska.
A FedEx semi-trailer was left hanging off an overpass after a crash on an icy bridge Wednesday morning in northwest Indiana. We talked to state police.
Let's see if there's something else. making room for the train. I wonder what Delaware Bay looked like up in Lower Township, New Jersey. You can walk about maybe 20, 30 feet before you got to be careful. Oh, yeah, my teeth are, I'm shivering just looking at this.
You know, freezing rain is such an interesting thing because it just looks like regular rain when it's falling out of the sky. And then all of a sudden you look around and there's ice everywhere. Okay, so I want to explain in very simple terms what's going on with freezing rain and what makes it different than regular rain. So with freezing rain, you have supercooled water droplets. Okay. Now, that term supercooled, that means that the temperature of the droplet is below freezing, but it still stays in the liquid form, okay? That is until it makes contact with something that's below freezing. So let's take one example here of a supercooled water droplet that falls onto a surface that's above freezing. What happens there? Well, same thing as with regular rain. It just stays wet, falls on the surface, no big deal. But if that surface is below freezing and that supercooled water droplet hits it, it instantly freezes, okay? So this is also why things that are thinner, things like bridges, tend to ice over a little bit quicker because they can get below freezing quicker when it's cold outside.
Okay. Check in on here. Nope, still nothing. Batman's on. A lot of people are covering this. Reed Timmer is covering the blizzard. It's National Croissant Day from KTLA 5, EarthCam in Times Square. Let's see here. Right back, folks. Still nothing. They shouldn't be live now. Wait. This was Oklahoma Weather Cam update 7:43 p.m. January 26th. Dead space. Anyway, I'll be back at 10 o'clock Central Time, I guess, 10 o'clock. It's 21:37 now. We're supposed to be back live again at 10 o'clock. Some news here. Amazon driver shot at multiple times. More looking through the weather. Current. Stop sharing. That's News 9 YouTube. less than 20 minutes if they go live. I'm not sure, quite sure. Shoot. Two tabs up there. Current temperature 50 degrees in Miami, southern tip of Florida. 2 degrees up in Maine somewhere. Nothing warm tonight. Let's see. Washington, Idaho must be next to Washington. So 26 and 9 in Idaho somewhere. New Jersey. Let's see. It's Pennsylvania. 26, 13 degrees up in Michigan. I guess Michigan. 24. Now this is Texas. 51, 60, 52. $37 up in Hasten that my state's pretty good. Well, that's Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Nevada. I don't know. Day U.S. forecast. Yeah, this is about it. Just about done. Today's high temperature 61 in Miami. 73 Brownsville, Texas. '73 in Phoenix, Arizona. Cool. The yellow is in the 60s and 70s. And sunny. Yeah, it's winter. Dead of winter. January. Average high temperatures. See if I'm still showing. 18. Went down to 34. '60s over California. Texas, southern Texas, 70s, tip of Florida. Tens. Ooh. I wonder how Dr. E's making out. Alabama. '50s, Alabama. Yeah, 18. Mountain Home, 35 at Heflin. Swiss. Overnight's going to be 31. AM, 35. AM 34. 6 a.m. Wow, it's going down. 29, 5 and 6 o'clock a.m. Then 2 and 3 p.m. is going to be a high 56. It's not too bad. Mostly sunny. And February 1st. 49. 3 p.m. 60. Can't do that. So I'm closer to Addison. That's where I gotta go for food traffic. Nothing yet. News 9, YouTube. It's supposed to be live now, but there's nothing being shown. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. As soon as News 9 has something to show, I'll be back live. Pretty much that's it for now. Punxsutawney Phil, thank you very much. southern Haiti, earthquake, volcanic eruption, Tonga, wildfire in California, closes California, Highway 1. Anyway, yeah. Well, we're supposed to definitely, within the next, 100 years, have a ice age, like day after tomorrow. Some people just won't listen, you know. Like the son of the climatologist, the government. My father is a scientist. He says we got to stay in. Ah, bah humbug. We can survive. And what happens? They die. Yeah, you might be right. Look at the volcano. What was it? Yellowstone. It's supposed to, last time, a few million years ago. It's overdue. So not only we got to worry about super volcano going off, we got to worry about an ice age. So either we're going to fry to death or freeze to death. That's not something to look forward to. Yeah, just like the magnetic poles of the Earth, it's going to switch polarity. That's a good point, Brad. Very good point. Let's see. Comet flu nest. How to keep a pet. Let's see. He doesn't look like he's concerned for himself. Yep, keep the pets indoors at this temperature. Let's see what here. Oh, look at that. I thought I was about done. Don't grill indoors. Just turn off your surge protector. That is if you have gas. A lot of people just don't realize how bad it could be. You know, if your power goes out and you don't have a generator, a modern day generator, best thing, have a kerosene heater. Sleep in the living room. Yeah, make sure your windshield wipers are working, your thrusters are working. You got coffee on hand, the thermos or hot chocolate, a blanket. Make sure you have plenty of gas if you're traveling or if you're on the road. That's the most important thing. So have your tank full. Because if the power goes out or you go into an area where the power is out and you need gas stations are locked down because of no power. Why should you put this for December? I don't know. So that. Okay, here we go. That's interesting. Why you shouldn't store food outside during winter power outages. Flares, okay, yeah. this. Let's see what they say. That's common sense. Yeah, some more stuff to look at. Well, look, okay, 18 where you're at. And below. So if your power is out, and you get food, put it in the refrigerator, and all depends on how it is. Like tomorrow it's going to be 56, so make sure you have ice or deep freeze. I think the best thing to do is when your power goes out, is have a kerosene needle. Yeah, depending on the size of the breed. That don't look good. St. Bernards, Huskies, Hybrid Wolves, German Shepherds. I think I'll end it at the fireplace too. Yeah, make sure your flow is unobstructed. Just put a grate in front of the fireplace with the slit. Welcome back, Truth. Since up, you got some people in here. There you go. If you want to come up and talk about your experiences in the wintertime, come on up. I'm missing my co-hostess. dangers of blowing and drifting snow. We covered that. Is it okay to eat snow? As long as there's no footprints, I think it's okay. Let's see what they have to say. When snow is white and fluffy, you might get the impulse to taste it. Fear mongering. That's according to the experts. We're taking all the fun out. That's what I hate about the mainstream media. All of a sudden, the bots are coming in. Children will love to play. I'll leave it up to my moms to kick them out. Earn your keep. Just kidding. The government, the scientists, the mainstream media take the fun out of snowfalls, especially for the kids. Yeah. Hot chocolate, cup of coffee, chili. Wendy's has some good chili, especially in the wintertime. But for me, I would have to have chili on hand instead of going out because I come anywhere from 15 to 25 miles away from any supermarket or stores. 15 miles to McDonald's, Wendy's, Waffle House. The Waffle House doesn't have hot chocolate. I think they would have that. Yeah, in front of the fireplace. Gotta have a fireplace. Snuggle up with that special someone. Nope. Still not on. This is right back, folks.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform? Thirsty for change? Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will get online and win. Yes! Yes! Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Tap into the power of our 5G network. Choose any phone from any brand, and we make it free. Plus, get unlimited data for $30 a month from US Cellular.
Download Oklahoma's own News 9 streaming app and never miss out again. This is Oklahoma's own News 9.
A local church says they prepare up to 500 meals a day to keep up with the demand of seniors in need of food here in Oklahoma County. News 9's Angelicia Bruton has more on how a meal program is keeping up with service calls during the pandemic.
Meals on Wheels Oklahoma City says since the start of the pandemic, they've served thousands of meals, and requests aren't slowing down. Every Friday, Wade Gray and his wife pick up meals to be delivered to seniors.
Some of them are just very excited to see the meal, and they grab the meal and say, ooh, lunch.
The Grays are volunteers with St. Luke's United Methodist Church, which is one of 40 churches that delivers meals to seniors in Oklahoma County.
You may be the only face they see that day. Sometimes we don't know if it's the meal they want or the conversation they want more. I think they probably want both, but sometimes it's hard to tell which one means more to them.
Chris Lambert with St. Luke's says for many of them, this is the only meal they're guaranteed to get that day.
A lot of our seniors don't have ready access to food. Senior food insecurity in Oklahoma County is a major issue.
This is an issue he says has been around way before the pandemic. COVID-19 is just exposing the problem even more. Lambert says many of the seniors using their services are homebound. He believes the pandemic is encouraging more people to look into what resources are available and ask for help.
Prior to the pandemic, our churches altogether were delivering about between 8,500 and 9,000 meals a month. Now we're delivering over 19,000 meals every month.
Lambert says keeping up with the demand is not a problem, but they are calling.
I'm more interested in the weather right now. Tomorrow it's going to be 66 in Oklahoma. So the snow is going to melt pretty much. Tuesday 57 and rain. The rain is going to melt the snow along with the temperature. And then Wednesday, low 32, 29 degrees. Thursday, 19 degrees. You notice the temperatures fluctuating from springtime to dead of winter. That's something. Yeah, it doesn't burn. I've seen a lot of experiments doing that. Still nothing. Look at this. Yeah. From low temperatures to high, back down to low again. Unbelievable. Look, if they're seeding the clouds for rain, then they definitely is a satellite up there for weather control. I'm watching a movie right now called Stormageddon, where they got 3 satellites up in space making destructive weather. And who knows? People like to imitate Hollywood, so there's got to be some fact in all this speculation about the government weather control satellites. Yeah, that's the point, Darlene. The microwaves. All right, I'll be right back. Be welcome. Chat among yourselves for a second.
If you're not watching TV like I'm not, you turn Wi-Fi off. The Wi-Fi on your phone is Wi-Fi already off.
All right. I'll just interfere with you. I'll just go.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to edit my photos by saying if we're going to watch TV. But when you turn it off, the Wi-Fi off. Don't worry.
Well, I hate to end this live stream, but cutting in on some people's Wi-Fi, so I am going to end this live stream. And if something comes up, something breaks, I'll be, going live again. Truth. Appreciate you coming in. Let's see what else was here. And of course, special thanks to Darlene McGee. Line straight, appreciate it. Yeah, it's not my Wi-Fi, so. Love and respect to both of you. Talk to you later, Darlene. Love you. And y'all have a good evening. 10:22. I think they're late. But anyway, aloha.